Well, aloha. It's Friday. So this is Jamie Barber with Jamie Barber Homes, and it's Aloha Friday. So, as usual, it's Friday. It's the first Friday in March, and man, some crazy things are happening in the world. You know, Russia's invaded Ukraine. There's you know, we're still low in inventory. The um, it rained here in Southern California yesterday or last night, and I think there were some showers today. So it is a little crazy right now, but it's Aloha Friday. Well, right now we're going to talk about mortgage rates because big stuff happened today or over the last couple of days. Mortgage rates plunged back below 4% this week in their biggest 1 week drop in nearly 2 years. That was mainly because of Russia invading Ukraine, and that injected some uncertainty in the world economy. Now, the average 30-year fixed rate dropped to 3.97%, down from 4.08% last week. We're barely more than 2 weeks into 2022, and it's already been a roller coaster ride for mortgage rates. They topped 4% for 2 weeks, a level not seen since 2019. Okay, that's crazy. They rose up from 3.3% from the start of the year. Now, we're still near historic lows, and the dip in the mortgage rates could be short lived. People who are motivated to buy something have much more motivated or have become much more motivated because they want to get it done before the rates go up anymore. Now, while rates are generally going up, that means you're not stuck with whatever the average is. I recommend shopping around with different lenders to find the best rate, since unique factors play a big part in determining the actual mortgage rate you will end up with. So, let's look at the economic trends affecting mortgage rates right now. The first, we already discussed the war in Ukraine. It's the latest variable affecting rates. The human toll of the war has been really heavy. The United Nations reported that over 1 million Ukrainians have become refugees in the week that since the war started, with many more fleeing their homes for shelter elsewhere in the country. Experts say the war is likely to cause more volatility in the financial markets, potentially sending investors to the relatively safety of bonds, such as a 10-year U.S. Treasury note, which mortgage rates tend to track. Now, markets also they got a little more clarity this week on what the Federal Reserve might do at its next meeting in 2 weeks. Chairman Powell told Congress on Wednesday he will likely support increasing the Fed's benchmark short-term interest rate by a quarter of a percentage point from its current near zero level. That's the first step in what will likely be several increases in an effort to rein in the highest inflation in 40 years. The bottom line is that we will proceed, but we will proceed carefully as we learn more about the implications of the current Ukraine war for the economy. That's what Powell said. He also said we use our tools to support financial stability and macroeconomic stability. We're going to avoid adding uncertainty to what is already an extraordinarily challenging and uncertain moment. Okay, that was all what Powell said. High inflation, which experts have told has contributed significantly to the run up in mortgage rates, is nothing like anything we've experienced in decades, Powell said. So, well, mortgage rate averages are generally on their way up despite a drop this week. The rate you get from your lender can vary quite a bit. Be sure to shop around to get the best deal. It adds up in the long run. A drop in mortgage rates might come as a relief to home buyers who've been worried with the big jumps in the past several weeks, but the dip might not last long. It's important to consider that while rates are up compared to what they were in 2021, years that were in many more ways than one unprecedented, they aren't far off from where they were before the pandemic and are lower than they were a decade or so ago. Mortgage rates they're important, and big increases can cut into home affordability, which has already been strained by the high cost of homes right now. With interest rates going up, that means you can afford less homes. You have to rethink what you can afford and what is comfortable. What is a comfortable monthly payment right now? Also consider that buying a home is far more than just a financial decision. It's about making a lifestyle choice. And while the market for mortgages and homes shape that decision, don't base it solely on a few basis points on a mortgage rate. It's not necessarily a rational decision-making process buying homes that people are engaged in. And they make decisions about home buying a lot differently than they make about a home refinance or other investments. Okay. Now, the increase in rates since the start of the year has changed the market for refinancing as well, if you're interested in that. As doing so for the purpose of reducing your rate and saving money has become less appealing for many homeowners. It still makes sense for millions of homeowners, though. There are about 3.8 million high quality refinance candidates, down from nearly 20 million when the rates were low. That's a big difference. Refinancing isn't always about saving on your mortgage rate, however. If you're considering a cash out refinance, whether it's to tap into the equity in your house for a big expense or to consolidate high interest rate debt, a rate around 4% might not be too bad. Now, a cash out refinance may also allow you to tap into the added equity in your home after all those prices have shot up for the past 2 years. Well, that's my quick rundown on what's happening in the mortgage rates and the mortgage world. And so, if you have any questions, or you want to buy a house, or you want to sell a house, or we can go into what's happening with the mortgage rates, you can email me at jamie@jamiebarberhomes.com. Again, that's jamie@jamiebarberhomes.com. Well, you have a good weekend. It just rained here in Southern California, so things are going to be a little greener. The skies hopefully will be a little bluer, and have a good one. Remember, it's Aloha Friday. No work till Monday, unless you're a real estate agent or you're in sales or who knows. But most of you will have the weekend off, so enjoy it. Go looking at houses. Again, you can email me, jamie@jamiebarberhomes.com. Have a great weekend. See you next week.